Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, esteemed guests, colleagues, and friends. My name is Leon Bian, and I am a fellow of the World Academy of Productivity Science. I am your host today. The World Academy of Productivity Science, WAPS or WAPS, is a division of the World Confederation of Productivity Science, WCPS. It is comprised of individual members who support the goal of WCPS and who wish to contribute to its work. WAP's vision is to become the premier global body for the promotion and development of productivity towards achieving worldwide collaboration and sustainable growth. WAP's mission is to create, enhance, and disseminate the body of knowledge for global productivity through WAP's worldwide network. I am honored and privileged to welcome you to the 2024 WAPS Fellows Induction Ceremony. Today, we celebrate excellence, innovation, and leadership in productivity, values at the core of the Academy's mission. The WAPS Fellows represent the pinnacle of achievement in advancing productivity science and practice. Through their groundbreaking research, pioneering strategies, and exceptional leadership across industries and disciplines, these individuals have driven tangible progress and inspired future generations to think bigger, work smarter, and create lasting impact. Our newest inductees come from diverse regions and professional backgrounds, reflecting the Academy's commitment to global collaboration and inclusivity. From industry leaders to renowned academics, each fellow has dedicated their career to improving the ways we work, produce, and innovate. Today, we celebrate their accomplishments and collective influence on shaping a more productive, equitable, and sustainable world. As we proceed, let us take this opportunity to honor their contributions, learn from their journeys, and draw inspiration from their dedication to advancing productivity for the betterment of society. Congratulations to the 2024 WAPS Fellows. Your achievements remind us why productivity is not just about efficiency, but about unlocking human potential. Thank you, and let's begin our ceremony. You should all grab a drink, a champagne, a beer, a glass of wine, or in my case, a milk tea, because it's only 6 a.m. in California. So now let's hear from Mr. Chen Shengchang, the president of WAPS. Chen 先生，
主持人，今天我们很开心能和世界生产力科学联盟以及世界生产力科学院的同事们、新进入院的院士们再次相聚。Thank you, Leon. Today I am excited to meet again with my colleagues from the World Confederation of Productivity Science, the World Academy of Productivity Science, and our new fellows. First, I would like to congratulate our newly honored fellows and express my gratitude for your efforts and contributions to enhancing productivity in your respective fields. Your achievements are not just personal milestones, they have a global impact. Our Academy is proud to honor you with the designation of Fellow of WAPS. Second, we are witnessing a shift from a unipolar world to a multipolar world characterized by collaborative governance. Therefore, our shared goal as new and existing fellows is to study and explore the future development of productivity science. Through the World Academy of Productivity Science, I hope we will channel our collective energy to create a more influential institution. Finally, on behalf of the World Academy of Productivity Science, I congratulate you again.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Full disclosure, some of you might have already known the English version of Mr. Chen's speech was generated by AI, courtesy of 11 Labs. Next, let's hear from Mr. Peter Watkins from Canada. Peter is the president of WCPS and COO of QA Consultants. Peter.
Thank you very much for the introduction. And first, I want to acknowledge the leaders and the team of the World Academy of Productivity Science for their incredible leadership and continued contributions to productivity science, and in particular, the organization of the WAPS Fellow Inductions that are taking place now and have taken place in the past, and particularly for this event in 2024. I also want to recognize the achievements of the 2024 inductees as fellows of the World Academy of Productivity Science. Your induction is a recognition of a process of nomination, review, selection among global leaders, and we are honored by your presence today to receive your induction awards recognizing your sustained contribution to productivity science. The future of productivity science is bright and is going to be continually enabled by technology. There was reference to Mr. Chen's speech being created through AI, but I want to remind us of this exponential development that's taking place in AI and some of the challenges it means for us in the area of productivity. Moore's law is that the number of components in a single computer chip doubles every 2 years, and the results has been consistent with this projection since 1965. Unfortunately, the human brain, our compute capacity, is capped at around 86 billion neurons. Now, some of you may have many more billions of neurons than others, but the average is 86 billion. And recently, NVIDIA produced the H100 GPU transistor with a chip with 80 billion transistors in one chip. Now, to put that in context, ChatGPT requires 6 quadrillion transistors to operate. Recently, Google just released the Willow quantum computer AI chip, and it can solve certain problems in 5 minutes, which would take a classical supercomputer, one followed by 25 years to compute, which would be longer than the age of the universe. So we're in a period of time where the capabilities and potential capabilities of artificial intelligence and quantum computing will be exponentially greater than the compute capacity of the average person in the world. Yet, despite these achievements, nation-state productivity has been declining for over 10 years. Now, the reasons for this remain unclear, but for us in WCPS and WAPS, this remains as a major issue to be tackled to achieve productivity in nation states through technological advancement. And we have lots of work to do and lots of things to work on given these challenges. So I'm going to turn this back. I believe I start with Phil Green.
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, first, let me introduce Phil Green. Phil Green is in Canada. He's the Chief Science Officer for Skyforest Inc. He has spent over 43 years at the interface of productivity science and environmental sustainability. He co-founded First Resource Management Group, Inc. in 2010 and has led as its Chief Executive Officer, providing sustainable forest management science and public forests across Canada. He's published 3 books. His strength is in analytics for forestry risk management, and WAPS has pleasure in inducting and welcoming Phil Green as its fellow.
Thank you very much, Peter, and thank you for the honor of being a fellow of the World Academy of Productivity Science. I'm quite surprised when Peter said that he would like to nominate me as a fellow. I believe I get a couple of seconds to say a few words, Anita, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So as Peter says, I've been at this interface between productivity science and sustainability my entire career. For a variety of reasons, I ended up with a university background in both the biological sciences and statistics, and started off working on the sustainability of fisheries in northern British Columbia rivers in my early 20s. But that led me, the statistics led me to working along the lines with W. Edward Deming's methodology in North American industry and beyond, South America and somewhat in Southeast Asia and Europe. And it eventually occurred to me shortly after the Exxon Valdez disaster and the Gro Harlem Brundtland book on sustainable development that the teachings and methodology of W. Edward Deming and his colleagues was entirely applicable to the question of sustainability, because when you are more productive, you are less wasteful, you get more done with the same amount. All of these things are issues related to sustainability. And as Peter mentioned, I also worked significantly on the question of risk and preventing various nefarious incidents in terms of risk management. We did write a book on that, which is sold very well. Now I'm in the field of satellites. Skyforest is a space company that uses space satellite technology to extract very detailed information about forests. So I think it's kind of interesting now that I've turned things around where not me, but things have turned around where I can use new technologies to be more productive in the work on sustaining the environment. Whereas, it's sort of gone back and forth both ways between the two sides. So I was very honored that just through our various casual conversations over the last 3 or 4 years, Peter thought that that career path was worthy of recognition by the World Academy of Productivity Science. Thank you very much, Peter, and the Academy for the honor and the fellowship.
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Philip. And next, Anita Tang. Anita is Vice President of WAPS and Managing Director of Royal Roots Global.
Hi, thank you, Leon. Good morning to everyone from Chicago. I was inducted to the Academy in 2010 at the World Productivity Congress held in Turkey. Today, 14 years later, I'm excited to welcome 11 productivity champions to the Academy. It is my privilege to introduce you to 2 of them. Based in France, Mr. Rajesh Verma is in the investment and portfolio management space and has 35 years of experience in analysis, research, and strategy. He has worked in multiple geographies, including Hong Kong, the United States, the United Kingdom, and France. In 2010, he successfully created and managed a typical global equity fund with asset under management reaching 800 million euros in 2022. Mr. Verma co-founded several companies. He currently sits on the boards of 5 companies based in Asia, the UK, and Europe. WAPS is pleased to welcome and induct Mr. Rajesh Verma as a fellow. Mr. Verma, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anita, and thank you all. Yes, I was very honored to be by when Anita said that she wanted to nominate me as a fellow of the World Academy of Productivity Science. So thank you, Anita, and thank you all for accepting. My background is a little unorthodox. Some of you might have heard the presentation on diversity a few weeks ago. But yes, for a couple of years I've been running a fund that's been focused on sustainability. But the last 36 years, I've had the chance of basically traveling around the world and meeting interesting companies and interesting people in so many different in sectors. But one of the reasons why I also accepted to join the WAPS was simply because of how much I've seen or how much I see the world changing. Whereas for the last 15 years, I was focusing on investing in companies that had the best CTO or the best chief science officer. And I've come to the realization that with AI and all new technologies out there, the focus has actually moved away from companies having the best CSO, CTO, but companies that have the best COO. With the reasoning being that we're all going to have the same technology at our fingertips going forward. We'll all be able to write songs and write books. But the hardest part is going to be to find companies, for example, this table here. What I'll care about is who is the best COO out there? Who's the best chief operating officer? Who is the person out there that can produce this with the highest productivity? And that's where I see us all changing the world, right? So what I want to do is add my vision and my viewpoint of how I see the world changing on the productivity side, and also benefiting from all your expertise for what I do. So thank you, Anita, for accepting me or for nominating me to be a fellow, and thank you all for accepting this nomination. Over to you, Anita. You're on mute again, Anita.
Thank you, Raj. So next up, based in China and trained in computer communications, Mr. Liu Jingshu has co-founded 2 publicly traded companies in the technology arena. He has participated in national and local programs focused on the practice and exploration of telecommunications and mobile communications, e-commerce, e-government, and meteorological satellites. He is also heavily involved in developing a meteorological economy in China. Mr. Liu has won several awards and has obtained 6 national invention patents and 8 utility patents. WAPS is pleased to welcome and induct Mr. Liu Jingshu as a fellow. 刘院士，请。
能听到吗？
能听到。
好，尊敬的院长、各位院士、各位来宾、亲爱的朋友们，大家好。我今天在这里心情无比激动和感激。首先，我要感谢世界生产力科学院授予我这个荣誉和职责，同时也感谢我的导师和前辈们对我的私心的指导。这对我来说是一个巨大的鼓励和认可，也将是我一个新的起点，激励我在未来继续努力，不断追求卓越，用我的所学和可用的资源，支持世界生产力科学联盟的目标，帮助促进生产力发展，实现世界和平与繁荣，并希望为其做出贡献。特别是在本人多年从事的数字经济、人工智能、 会星遥感和通信、气象观测和服务方面，希望能与生产力科学院各位院士深入交流，广泛合作。按照经济学著名的德尔菲气象定理，气象的投入与产出比为1:98。气象经济作为国民经济的重要组成部分，也是推动经济发展的重要动力和基础保障。目前，面对越来越频发的异常气象现象，更显得尤其重要。为此，今年中国在11月7号正式发布了首部气象经济蓝皮书。全书分为总报告、分报告、科技篇、专题篇以及案例篇5部分，涉及到近100多个行业，从基本的生存到康养保健，从农业到生态，从环境到旅游，从能源到交通，从数据资源到科技进步，从数字经济到气象金融等各个方面。这标志着中国已经将气象经济正式纳入国家经济建设的主战场，这是一个极大的商机，也是一个极好的增长点。同时，这也是我热切希望与各位开展合作的重要方面。一方面，我们可以将西方的先进的技术和产品、成熟的商业模式和服务模式引进到中国；另一方面，可以将气象数据要素的价值释放，促进国际化的生产、流通、消费等各环节的融合，促进各地经济和生产力的发展，助力世界和平与繁荣。再次感谢大家，让我们共同期待更好的未来。谢谢。
谢谢你 ，Mr. Liu。
Thank you, Mr. Liu. So next, we're going to move on to Professor Barnes. You are the next citation reader.
Thank you, Leon, and sincere thanks to WAPS. I am honored to have been requested to read 2 citations of 2 of our newest fellows. Let me say that, similar to Anita, I was also inducted as a fellow of WAPS in a physical event in Turkey in 2010, and have been involved with WAPS for 14 years to date. Colleagues, I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Devdas Appelswamy from the beautiful island of Mauritius. Mr. Appelswamy is the Director of Capacity Development at the National Productivity and Competitiveness Council, called NPCC, in Mauritius. He possesses a wide range of diverse experiences, especially in the area of productivity. This includes developing Young Leaders Program, the National Leadership Brand, growth opportunities for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, productivity awards, and the likes. He was also a board member of PAPA, which is the Pan-African Productivity Association. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Mr. Devdas Appelswamy as a fellow of WAPS. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Barnes, for this introduction. Distinguished fellows of the World Academy of the Productivity Science, esteemed colleagues and guests, I am deeply honored to be with you today as a newly inducted fellow of this prestigious academy. I am truly grateful to be recognized alongside a group of accomplished professionals who have demonstrated outstanding commitment to advancing the principles of productivity. In fact, I first encountered the World Academy of Productivity Science in the 1990s through a training conducted by Dr. Ramsey in Mauritius on his WAPS productivity model. At the time, I could hardly have imagined that I would one day be a fellow of this esteemed institution. Yet, I have now spent almost half of my life supporting and driving the productivity movement in Mauritius, as well as in Africa. I owe a great debt of gratitude to my mentors who have shaped my thinking, to my colleagues who have challenged my ideas, to the National Productivity and Competitiveness Council, and the Pan-African Productivity Association, which have provided the space for creativity and growth. At the level of NPCC, apart from implementation of productivity programs in enterprises, as mentioned by Professor Barnes, we are working with different target groups, youth, students, women, to develop a productivity culture. And at the level of the PAPA, we are working in close collaboration with the Japan International Cooperation Agency and the African Union Development Agency for the development of productivity practitioners across the continent. The field of productivity is in constant evolution. As rightly mentioned earlier, the productivity of the future is not about getting more done in less time. It involves shifts in technology, digitalization, artificial intelligence, changes in mindsets, the development of modern organizational structures, coupled with hybrid workplace, among others. Above all, it is about recognizing that productivity is driven by people through our shared pursuit of maximizing human potential. It is undoubtedly a privilege to be a fellow of this academy, but more importantly, it is a responsibility. I'm therefore committed to continue driving the productivity movement with a deep sense of purpose and collaboration, using foresight to seek solutions to the challenges that lie ahead. Finally, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the World Academy for this recognition and to my family who have been a constant source of support. I owe a special word of thanks to Professor John Heap, who inspired me with the concept of C productivity and for nominating me for this fellowship. I look forward to contributing to the Academy's mission and working alongside all of you to shape what is called a socially inclusive, economically viable, and environmentally sustainable future for every global citizen. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Professor Barnes.
Thank you, Chair. Colleagues, I'd like to introduce to you a fellow South African, Ms. Amelia Naidoo. Ms. Amelia Naidoo is the Acting Chief Executive Officer of Productivity South Africa, which is a state-owned entity. And she is currently the Executive Manager of the Competitiveness Improvement Services Unit. She is an industrial engineer by trade, possessing a master's MBA, Master of Business Administration, which she obtained cum laude. She currently oversees the national operations of Productivity South Africa. Amelia also serves as a chairperson of the International Labour Organization's Project Advisory Committee for the productivity ecosystem for decent work projects in South Africa. Additionally, she represents South Africa on the cross-functional working group for the Kaizen Initiative, a collaboration with the African Union Development Agency and NEPAD, the New Partnership for Africa's Development, and aligned to JICA, which is a Japan International Cooperation Agency. She is also a member of the Durban University of Technology's Industrial Engineering Advisory Board and contributes to various other committees. With over 20 years of experience in her field, Amelia's work is driven by a strong focus on innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Ms. Amelia Naidoo as a Fellow of WAPS. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Barnes. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the World Academy of Productivity Science, It's with great gratitude and humility I stand before you, or sit before you, to accept this honor of being named a fellow. For me, it's about making a real difference. And to be recognized amongst all the other fellows, it's amazing to see what we can do. This moment is not just a personal milestone for me, but it's a reminder of the power of persistence and purpose in everything we do. As a woman in leadership, I recognize the responsibility that comes with this recognition. It's a reminder that the path to productivity and progress is not only shaped by ideas and efforts, but by the diverse voices that contribute to them. So I'm very proud to join an academy where leadership, inclusivity, and collaboration are valued and nurtured. The mission of the academy is one that resonates deeply with me. To advance knowledge, improve systems, and create lasting impact through thoughtful action. And I believe that true productivity goes beyond simply improving efficiency. It's about creating environments that nurture growth, where individuals can thrive and contribute to something greater than themselves. So as a fellow, and I come from a state entity, I want to say that what I would be contributing is also from research of making state entities more efficient, as well as offering models and case studies that can help people become more productive or boost their productivity. I look forward to collaborating with other members to find solutions to challenging productivity issues, and particularly in the emerging economies like South Africa. I also want to get involved with initiatives that promote inclusive and sustainable productivity methods whilst reviewing and informing policy. And that's where my passion lies. So I'm excited to work alongside very talented and diverse group of individuals and learn from your experiences, as well as contribute to the ongoing success of the mission of this academy. So I would also like to take the opportunity to thank my supervisor, Professor Barnes, for nominating me, and for the World Academy of Productivity Science for actually accepting me in as a fellow. I of course want to thank God for all the mercies and grace, over my life, but also for my family, those that are sitting next to me, as well as those online, my friends, my mentors, my colleagues, for this journey as well, because it's a recognition of what we can do and how we can make this difference. So thank you again for this incredible honor, and I look forward to contributing to the ongoing work of this academy to make the world of productivity more inclusive, innovative, and empowering for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Amelia. Thank you, Professor Barnes. We're moving on to the next fellow, and the citation reader is Professor Rajat Basia. Professor is a former dean of the Department of Management Education at IIT Delhi. Professor.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think I am also a fellow of WAPS, inducted in 2011. So I have about a decade association with WAPS. I am very happy and also extremely delighted to induct two learned professors from India to be inducted as fellow of WAPS. Professor K. Gopalakrishnan is the Secretary General of Indian Technology Congress Association and University Space Consortium. He is also the founder, convener, and project director of 75 Students Satellite Consortium, Mission 2022. He has several patents to his credit, recipient of many awards for his excellence in academic and professional career and contributions. He has been responsible for setting up and management of many premier education and research institutions. WAPS has pleasure in inducting and welcoming Professor Gopalakrishnan as its fellow.
Yep, Dr. Gopalakrishnan informed us. Yeah, informed us this morning that he's on a flight from Hanoi to Bangalore via Bangkok, so he's unable to join this induction ceremony. But he sends his regrets, and thank you so much, Professor, for reading his citation. And let's move on to the next fellow.
Next one. Yeah, I have been extremely delighted that I have been called upon to read out the citation of my distinguished colleague, Professor Sanjeev K. Deshmukh. Professor Deshmukh is a mechanical and industrial engineer by education and is currently the professor of mechanical engineering at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. Prior to this, he was the director of Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management, Gwalior. He has been a teacher for over 35 years, ranked number 2 in India in the list of business and management scientists, recipients of several awards for excellence in teaching, publications, and research, author of 6 books and over 175 research paper publications. WAPS has the pleasure in inducting and welcoming Professor Deshmukh as its fellow. Over to you, Professor Deshmukh.
Thank you, Professor Besya. And it is really,
nice.
Thank you, seeing after a long time. I am really honored to receive the fellowship from the Academy. First and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to this amazing community that I am proud to be a part of. I also thank Professor Premrat, who has nominated me to the Academy. In fact, Professor Premrat introduced me to the productivity sciences. And as an industry engineer, we keep deliberating on what we call it as PQR, productivity, quality, and responsiveness. And these are the main concerns. And thanks to the emerging thrust, both on digitalization and sustainability, the productivity dimension has assumed an altogether different meaning, especially post-COVID era. As an academician, I keep working on developing models for looking at the impact of digitalization, how to improve the manufacturing competitiveness, and basically, as a country, I am really proud that India has provided a huge landscape for enhancing the movement of productivity. I look at the issues of small and medium enterprises. What is the meaning of productivity in that context? And how digitalization, how the advancement in technology has really gained prominence and in a way has boosted the economy. I am also associated with National Productivity Council, the apex body in India who looks after the productivity movement. And I will continue to contribute in generating and disseminating the knowledge base in the productivity. As an industry engineer, I will try my best to contribute to the academy and make our community stronger. Let us work hand in hand for the betterment of the academy and society at large. I accept the fellowship with humility, and once again, thanks a lot for the academy for admitting to this elite body, and I will keep contributing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's move on to Dr. Sunil Abrol. Dr. Abrol is a vice president of WAPS, and he is the president of the Institute for Consultancy and Productivity Research. Sunil, please.
Thank you, Leon. It's a pleasure to read the citation and introduce Professor Ravi Shankar to all of you. His nomination has been done by Professor Premwat, the former director of IIT Delhi, along with Professor Deshmukh. As you mentioned, he was also nominated by Professor Premwat. Professor Ravi Shankar is a professor at IIT Delhi. He primarily works in the area of operations and supply chain management and decision sciences. Industrial engineer by qualification, he has taught in many countries, including Thailand, UK, USA, and has received several awards, including Outstanding Faculty Award by Ministry of HRD in India and Most Influential Researcher Award by Loughborough University, UK. He has published over 250 papers and authored many books. WAPS has pleasure in welcoming and inducting Professor Ravi Shankar as its fellow. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sunil, for introducing me. I am deeply honored and grateful in receiving the fellowship of WAPS. It's a great moment personally to me and also to the institute to which I belong, that's IIT Delhi. I am basically an industrial engineering PhD, and since then, for many years now, I'm working to promote the productivity concepts to the students who are in India and also in many other countries. I have focused on this journey in 2-3 ways, and let me tell you something that first is the teaching the concepts of productivity to young minds who have reached to now at senior levels in industry. Secondly, the research. So guided more than 75 PhDs, and many of these PhDs are in the area of the productivity improvement. And the third dimension through which I have contributed to this area of productivity is through industry consultancy. So to many industries, I have worked for their productivity improvement program. And there are a lot of research funding also through which I have collaborated with international partners in UK, US, and other countries. To me, productivity is in my blood. Every time, even if I work in home or I work in my office, now every time I keep thinking that how we can improve. And to me, productivity is a moving target. So whatever we have achieved as an improvement, there is always room for doing a little better next time. I'm feeling great to be in the galaxy, in the company of so many important leaders in this area, and hope to contribute through the collaboration to furthering the cause of productivity, and also to make all of us proud in this area. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Leon. I have pleasure in welcoming and introducing a very dynamic person in the field of education and training, Mr. Balsaru Sudarshan, a great friend of mine. Mr. Balsaru Sudarshan has recently been managing director of EduTech which is part of NTTF, the leading technical education institution in India, pioneering institute. He has worked in the area of education and skilling for over 3 decades. A mechanical engineer by education, has worked in operations, projects, lean management, supply chain management, and many other sectors. He has been involved in policy advocacy, digital transformation, international collaborations, and in setting up industry-led centers of excellence in technical and vocational education. He has represented himself on the board of several organizations engaged in skilling, training, education, and technical skills. WAPS has pleasure in welcoming and inducting Mr. Sudarshan as its fellow. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Sunil. It has been pleasure always working with you, and thank you, especially. I'm humbled and honored to be a fellow of such a prestigious Academy of Productivity and Sciences. And I feel proud to be among the eminent people who already got inducted and already inducted over several years. So it's a great privilege to be part of this premium group who are into productivity sciences and making the world a better place to live. So I worked abroad in Germany and US for several years in the industry. So out of my passion, I took up skilling and education. So over last 8+ years, I've been rigorously working on the skilling and education domain. As you know, workforce development is one of the key challenges when it comes to productivity as well. So as India looks at the 65% of the population is between 16 and 25. So skilling and education plays an important role. So we have been playing a good role in developing skilling and entrepreneurship and employability skills, including the differently abled youth, and also the women empowerment is also part of the skilling. So I continue to work in this domain and looking forward to contribute towards the World Academy of Productivity Sciences on how we can make a difference together. So I accept the fellowship with all my humbleness, and I'm very grateful for honoring me in this, and also grateful for my family who is also watching this, joining, one from India and one from Germany. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's move on to Michael Shepard. He is Professor Emeritus Dalhousie University in Halifax, Canada. Michael.
Thank you very much, Leon. Halifax is on the East Coast. I now live on the West Coast, so Leon is like you, is very early in the morning. But I'm very pleased to be able to introduce Shalini Urs to this award. She's a longtime friend and colleague. Dr. Urs is an academic leader and education entrepreneur. She has founded 2 academic institutions in India. She's a sought-after speaker and consultant in digital libraries, e-science, and social network analysis. And she is the recipient of several awards, including a Fulbright scholarship. Dr. Urs has been engaged in many research projects, has edited 5 books, and authored over 200 papers. WAPS has pleasure in inducting and welcoming Shalini Urs as a fellow. Thank you.
I'm truly delighted and honored to be part of the WAPS family. Thank you, Mike, for your kind words of introduction. Mike and I have worked together on diverse projects through the 3 institutions, University of Mysore, and the 2 institutions that I founded, the International School of Information Management and the Myra School of Business. As Mike said, we've been working together since the last 3 decades or more. And my contribution to productivity improvement has been through initiating one of the earliest digital libraries called the Vidyanidhi Digital Library of Thesis and Dissertations way back in 2000 and pioneering the digital library movement in India. Thank you for this incredible opportunity to be part of the WAPS family and to contribute to the advancement of productivity science. As an information scientist, I firmly believe that information plays a pivotal role in enhancing productivity by improving both efficiency and effectiveness. I look upon this being part of the WAPS family and hope to contribute my own little ways in any which manner possible to improve productivity. I am deeply honored and privileged to be part of this prestigious academy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, it's also my pleasure to introduce Professor Zoe Radner. Dr. Radner is the Pro Vice Chancellor and Executive Dean of the College of Business and Social Science at Aston University in the United Kingdom. Her research interest is in performance and process improvement and service management in public sector organizations. She has led research projects in the government and healthcare sectors, evaluating the use of lean and associated techniques. Dr. Radner is a fellow of the Academy of Social Science, has numerous publications, and is the recipient of several awards. WAPS has pleasure in inducting and welcoming Zoe Radner as a fellow. Thank you.
Professor Radnor is unfortunately not able to make it to the ceremony today, but she sent us her acceptance speech and we're gonna read it for her. I want to make sure that to point out this is not her original recording. We are just reading it on her behalf.
Apologies that I cannot be with you today, as I am hosting my college festive lunch with over 200 employees. It is a great honour and privilege to receive and be recognised as a Fellow of the World Academy of Productivity Science, and to be a Fellow amongst such a distinguished group of individuals who have committed to the discipline of productivity science for industry, policy, practice, and academia. I am delighted that I was nominated by Mr. John Heap, who I served with as co-editor for the International Journal of Productivity and Performance Management, published by Emerald for over 10 years. It is wonderful to see that journal going from strength to strength. Over that time, we published articles and thought pieces across all industrial sectors, allowing insight into productivity within private, public, third and not-for-profit organisations globally. Since then, I have continued to publish around the topic of productivity through my work on applying lean and process improvement, particularly to public services, covering government, education, and health services. I look forward to bringing that knowledge and my wider experience to the community of the World Academy of Productivity Science. I would like to thank the panel once again for accepting my application as a fellow, and I wish all my other fellows and all those listening and attending a wonderful festive period and all the best for a successful, happy and healthy 2025.
Well, again, I want to point out that Professor Radnor's voice was generated by AI with her permission, because she originally asked us to read it on her behalf, and I thought, hey, if I read it, it just loses the original touch. So that's why we used the AI with her permission. But it sounds pretty good, right?
Right.
Okay. So next, we're gonna take, before closing, let's take a picture And I'm glad that Mr. Chen is still on Zoom. So if you don't mind, turn on your camera and we're gonna take a few pictures. Smile. Let's do another one. Smile. All right, great. All right, thank you. So as we conclude this inspiring ceremony, I want to extend my heartfelt congratulations to our 2024 WAPS Fellows. Your achievements are a testament to the transformative power of productivity science and the innovation it inspires around the world. Thank you to everyone who joined us today to honor these remarkable individuals. Their work serves as a reminder that progress is a journey driven by dedication, collaboration, and the pursuit of excellence. And I also want to share this news, if you haven't heard already. In August 2025, WCPS and WAPS plan to host an in-person conference on productivity. Go to waps.info for more information. We will share more information with all of the fellows. So finally, I wish all of you continued success and a productive year ahead. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Congratulations. Well
Thank
done.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Merry
Au revoir.
Christmas and happy
Congratulations,
holidays.
everybody. Well done, Amelia.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys in India.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.